We need to get rid of the 2 tiers. It's absolutely ridiculous that we even have that in the first place. We need a change, and we need to fight back as hard as we can.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
267 area code is the next caller. 267 area code, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, my name is Mohammed. I'm calling from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Mohammed from Pennsylvania, what's on your mind?
Yes, I have a little bit short story. I need the president to listen to this one. I've been hiring in the post office since 2014. My little son, he was 11 years. He's just a little boy. Now he's been hiring in the post office now. The last time he heard me listen to the show, the listen for the contracts and every stuff, he have a question to me. He say me, Dad, how much you make an hour? I tell him after 10 years, I get my shoulder bigger. But I tell him I make around $30. He look at me like either I'm a liar or I'm a stupid. I ask him because I see his eyes open. I say, why? He told me I just been hired as a window clerk. He makes $28 an hour. So this is a crazy. It was 11 years when I was starting. Now I make $30. He been hiring as a window clerk and $28 an hour. That's been this is a story. I want him, the president, to hear this story. It's not fair for us. A career after all these years, we're making nothing. That's what I see on my eyes on my son. My dad is a stupid one. I'm sorry about this one. That's what I see in his eyes. Either I'm lying, I don't make this money, or I'm stupid. This kid making $30. He's just been hiring for this 5 months now. He's been hiring as a window clerk, $28 an hour. Look how the difference. Look how this story. That's what I see. Even the people, they want to vote for yes to make this comparison. So ask the colleague over there how much they make. So how much we make. And I don't want to be longer than this. And I know that a lot of people and the waiting time. Thank you for getting me on the phone. Thank you so much.
Thank you for calling in. I appreciate it. We have an 802 area code. 802 area code. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name's Chris, local 37 over in Vermont up here. There are so many issues that so many callers have already addressed, but I don't think it's important enough to address them again. Right? So I want to shout out Labor Notes for doing a great article with some amazing people. I want to shout out Work Stoppers, the podcast that does amazing work. But what we have seen is that clearly the entire labor force in general is growing up. We are growing up. We are younger and we are growing up, and we see all of the work that actual labor unions do. Actually things that are happening, right? So we got Starbucks, for instance. Look at what's going on. Who do you think works at Starbucks, right? Younger folks, and they are unionizing across the board, fighting tirelessly. The UAW just got amazing gains. Teamsters, longshoresmen. We are watching this in real time. We are getting the gains if we fight against this.
Hey, 5 seconds. Just wanted to say that this is only possible because of our donors. If you want to see more of this, then consider donating yourself at tvlr.fm/donate.
Article 16 in the NALC Constitution we need to get rid of the 2 tiers. It's absolutely ridiculous that we even have that in the first place. I've been working in this force since 2017. We absolutely need a change, and we need to fight back as hard as we can. And just lastly, if anyone is listening that is not part of the union, please pressure your local city letter carriers to vote no. Just, I'm sure there's got to be at least some people here, right, that know their local letter carrier. Pressure them to vote no. I've contacted many of my previous offices. I've transferred twice, and it's depressing to see like the lack of solidarity. It's depressing to see the lack of stewardship, representation. You know, as a worker, vote no. Thank you.
Appreciate the call. Thank you very much. Caller from a 424 area code. This is the last NALC call. Then we're gonna go to a break and we're gonna talk Boeing. So you are the last call, and we got through all of them. So thanks everybody who called. 424 area code. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Oh, good morning. My name is Virgilio Goze, NALC Branch 79 in Seattle, also part of the BFN Coordinating Committee. I'm glad with all these calls from across the country that I'm hearing about. And, you know, I had a hearing Tyler talk about like the hard work that has been put in BFN. It's very important to me. And also hearing that the awakening across the country that's happening. I personally am quite surprised at the amount of people who are calling in on a vote no campaign. As was mentioned earlier, like in the last contract cycle, there was barely anybody voting, in my opinion, like 20% turnout.
Yeah.
95%, you know, yes, 5% no. It was mentioned to me, like, you know, Jamie Partridge from Branch 82, Oregon mentioned, like, if we can get 20% vote no, that would be a huge success for this vote no campaign. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
This just shows like how far, like how quickly this movement has grown, that we are seeing pictures from across the country, you know, people like holding signs that say vote no. But what I want to highlight personally is the importance of BFN as a rank and file movement, and how letter carriers should start thinking about building from the ground up, right? Like, you're agitated, you want to do something and change the union, and you gotta be willing to participate, right? Like, I always emphasize that you gotta build up your resume within the NALC so people will listen to what you're saying, right? Like, you should run for a shop steward or try and become, like, you know, part of the safety captain or a safety committee. Small things like that sounds like, you know, oh, it's nothing. Like, why do I add my time to that when I'm already like working a gajillion hours? But in order to make real change, in my opinion, is you gotta show that you're able to win, right? Like, you gotta show that you're, as a shop steward, you're getting carriers, you know, some money back from management violations. So that's just what I'm going to highlight, is that I'm quite glad that the BFN movement's growing strong, but letter carriers who are agitated now should start also thinking about, you know, becoming more active within the NALC as an institution, because the structure is there. Like, the NALC as it's constituted is very strong. Like, in my opinion, it's very democratic. You know, if you show that you're in some initiative, you can go up the union. And there's a reason why at the national convention, this, you know, it's literally, the votes were 2/3 yes for whatever the executive council said, and 1/3 going against what the executive council said. That's because we don't have people to become delegates to go to the national convention to voice the rank and file, you know, what they believe in, right? Like, because typically you need, like, to be in a meeting for 8 months of the 12 months of a year to become a paid delegate by your branch. Or typically it's like there's some sweetheart deals where the previous branch president always gets voted in to be like the delegate in the national convention. You have an experience with national conventions, but I just want to emphasize that I'm glad that people are agitated, but this is a long-term project. The letter carrier craft is a career, and you shouldn't be like, oh, we vote Renfro out and that's it. We should be thinking about how to build the rank and file movement so we won't have sellout contracts in the future, right? Or we have a stronger national leadership. That's just my perspective as, part of the BFN committee and, how I want people to think about a rank and file movement moving forward.
That's a fantastic place to wrap up the NALC part of the show. Don't let your anger and agitation fizzle out. Commit to building the union, building rank and file power in the union, and don't let this be the end of your work within your union. That's a fantastic place to wrap up. I appreciate the call. You just saw a clip from the Valley Labor Report. We are live every Saturday morning from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. And we pride ourselves on keeping all of our content free to everybody so that we can talk to as many working folks as possible. If you support the work that we're doing, you think that it's important, you think that it's good, then consider making a monthly contribution to the project, and you can do that on our website, tvlr.fm.